I'm Mr. MegaManFan. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. You know all the things to do. And this is a video game console that I paid $1.59 for. Is it any good? Does it even work at that price? We're going to find out. So stay tuned. So this is my receipt from Thrift World. I thought this thing was going to be $3 and it ended up being less than that because there was a yellow tag sale. Apparently the only other location of Thrift World is in Kansas City, but this one is notable because it used to be the location of Family Fun Center in Omaha, Nebraska. So if you see a thrift store with a gigantic arcade cabinet outside, you know you're in the right place. And this was literally the only video game related thing they had. I walked around the entire store looking for PlayStation, GameCube, hell, DVD games like Space Ace would have been okay. Nothing. This was it. And at that point I was like, well, I'm going to pay for it because I'm already here. I made the trip. So here's what it looks like on the inside. As you can see, it's very simple because it's just video poker. There's not going to be a lot to it other than that, but I was enticed because of the fact it was complete in the box. If it had been a partial set or loose, I might not have cared so much. I'm kind of a sucker for these things anyway. I love plug and play type home console systems. I usually prefer they be arcade games, but you take what you can get when this is all you can find. And while the inner plastic appears to have been crushed just a little bit, if it's unused, new old stock, then I'm still impressed that it's all in here. It's actually a lot heavier than you would think for a plug and play system. There's some weight to this. Appears an instruction card of some kind fell out, or maybe it's a warranty card, or maybe it's post-it notes. I guess to keep track of your poker scores. Yeah, that's probably not a good sign when you actually have to write down your score between rounds because it doesn't have enough memory to keep track of it, and it's so crushed up. I think it would be kind of useless to even try to score anything with it. Got a controller here. It might have an LCD display built into the controller, which you don't very often see on plug and play, but it kind of looks that way. And of course, it's going to take batteries. Shouldn't be surprised by that at all. If there are already batteries in here, I'll be a little bit concerned. Oh dear. Yes, this reduces the odds that this thing is going to work. So it obviously was used at some point and they resealed it. So excuse me for one moment while I get these disgusting batteries out of here. Honestly, if this thing works after what I went through getting the batteries out, it'll be a gosh dang miracle. You can still see the residue in there, but these batteries had leaked to the point their outer sheaths had come off. When I tried to pull the batteries out, the wrapping around the batteries with the product name came off instead of the batteries. So I had to get in underneath each individual battery and pry it up with a knife. And in the process, a couple of these plastic pieces came a little loose, which I don't think matters because if the battery contacts can't be cleaned up, it won't matter whether they're evenly aligned in the plastic tray that holds them. So got some isopropyl rubbing alcohol and I'm gonna give it my best shot. But right at this particular moment, given all that rust and crust, my hopes aren't super high. Alright, I've been scraping at this thing for about a half hour, maybe close to an hour, and that's about as good as I can get it. And quite frankly, I don't know that the juice is worth the squeeze on this one. At this point, it either works or it doesn't, but this is easily the most disgusting corrosion I have ever seen in any plug-and-play game. Even if you absolutely hate the plug-and-play that you own, do us all a favor, take the batteries out before you put it in the closet and somebody takes it to a thrift store and whoever works at the thrift doesn't inspect it first and it sits on the shelf for years. Because between the two things, this is what's going to happen. These batteries were from 2012 and it's 2024. Batteries do not last that long. They're gonna expand, they're gonna leak, they're gonna corrode. If this thing works, it'll be a freaking miracle. Alright, it's time for the moment of truth. I put fresh batteries into this thing and plugged it into the TV. We're gonna see what happens. Maybe if I plug in a universal power supply, it'll have a better chance, but as of right now, it's definitely not working on batteries. Well, we didn't find a universal power supply, but we did find a nail file, so Mrs. MegaManFan went to town on this thing. We're gonna see if it works now. And wouldn't you know it, she is a miracle worker. Nail files and battery contacts, she can make things that didn't work. So let me see if I can get this to focus up a little. It's pretty blurry, but we're gonna give this a shot. All right, this controller is now lit up. I'm gonna select one player video poker again. Players 1, crowd sounds yes. Chip count, wagering structure, game. Well, it doesn't show me cards, but at least it's letting me select cards. Well, I won, apparently. Maybe it only displays cards when you're playing blackjack. I don't know. Let's see. I'll hold the king and the ace. Nope, not that time. I'll hold the 4. Oh, I skipped over it somehow. The buttons have a very delayed response to them. Oh, a full house. Dang. Okay. All right. Let's see if it'll actually show me a hand if I do something other than one player video poker. Blackjack, 4 decks, players 1, sounds yes, 100, 4 decks, choose your bets. Okay, and now it's showing me the hand. And here you can see the options: bet, hit, check, or raise. So you select which one you want, and then you hit OK. I'll hit. Probably not going to get better than that, so I actually won that hand. I'm shocked. All right, let's do this again. Smallest bet. My hand is 20 right off the bat, so I'm not going to bet. I'm going to raise. All right, let's try that again. I've got 7, so I'm going to hit. So now I've got 17. I think I'll stand on that. Yeah, I think you get the idea here. I guess because I had 21, it didn't even bother to show me the hand. This certainly isn't the worst thing you could possibly buy. But man, imagine if this was originally like $25, $35, and if it was sold by like Sharper Image or somebody, you'd play this for a day or two and then you'd be like, what did I just spend all that money on? I mean, it's the most simplistic controller in the world other than the LED display to show you your cards for certain games. And I guess the novelty of having 6 controller ports, well, maybe there's something to be said for that. Not a lot of something, but something. I mean, look at all these freaking controllers. There's a ton of controllers in here. Alright, I'm Mr. MegaManFan. This was $1.59 at the thrift store, and by some miracle, despite the batteries, it actually works. Largely thanks to my wife. As always, thank you for watching.